welcome to this week's edition of In the Dugout. We'll start off with a few questions from the fans. The first from Dom Howarth. He wants to know if we can sort out a happy hour in the bar after home games. Is that something we can sort out?
A happy hour? It'd be good, yeah. That sounds great. We'll all have to have half days on Mondays then, eh? But no, why not? If we want to all stick together and have a drink with each other after games, and especially if we're winning, I think it's a great idea, yeah, and why not? I know that the Centre Plate's doing some special offers on the Kingston Press, so yeah.
A question from Paul Margrave in terms of the dual reg system with Hull FC. He mentions a player that they've signed from Bradford in Camden's got a 17-year-old. He says the plan for Hull FC is for them to let him train with the under-23 sides and then let him come to Doncaster on dual reg. Is that something you've discussed or talked about?
I don't know where that's come from about the plan that he'll go in the pot with everyone else who's on dual reg from Hull, and be a tough one for him being 17-year-old. But if he's good enough, we'll certainly have a look at him and keep our eye on him. And if he's better than what we've got and he becomes available to us, then I'm sure Gary would pick him or bring him across on dual reg. But it'll just be like everyone else on dual reg, I'd say. We're aware of Hull signing him. We know a little bit about him, but he's only a young fella, so whether they'd want to throw him in too early, I don't know. That's down to Lee Radford and maybe it's a question for Lee, but that's down to Lee Radford and Gary to decide who comes here, and if it's beneficial for both parties, then we'll do it.
Another question from Paul. He seemed to question the attitude of the dual reg players when they come over here. Would you like to clear that one up for us?
I've not had Gary come to me and tell me about the attitude of the players. I don't know what's he basing his ratings of the players' attitudes on their performance on a Sunday, or going to training and seeing them train. But the coach is certainly not fed back to me, and we meet every week about players' attitudes. And on it again, you talk about Gary Thornton. Does he know how? Is that he gets told what to do, or we had last year we had Kirk Yeaman, who had a fantastic attitude when he came to the training, and he really tried to contribute. This is a fellow who's been at Hull all his life. I was in the meeting, and Gary was asked that Lee was trying to turn Kirk Yeaman into a second rower, and asked if we could play him in the second row while he was on dual reg with us. As you all seen, it was we were short in the centre, so Gary played him in the centre. So ultimately, Gary will play these dual reg players in the positions that do best for our club. If we can accommodate Hull's wishes, we will. But and going back, I'll revert back to Kirk, because to be at Hull all his career, come here and really contributed in the changing room to the boys, and went back to Hull, and he's gone public and says that he only got back in that Hull team and played centre all year, so he never even got the chance to go in the second row because of what he done for Doncaster, coming in and playing here at Donny. So that got him back in, and listen, he sent me a message saying he absolutely loved it here. Every time we play a big game, it's one of the first text messages I get from Yemo saying, wish the boys all the best. He only had 2 games for us. He really felt something, a connection. So, as to the attitude, I think all the Hull boys last year's attitudes were good. Well, Gary tells me they were. So, whether he's just basing the attitude on how they look or how they perform on a Sunday, I don't know.
Carl, Mason Tonk's not featured in pre-season so far. Is there any sort of update you can give on him?
Listen, yeah, he's been ready. We thought he's been ready for most of the weeks, and get through the back end of the week, and he just picks up another niggly little injury. Now, it's been tough on him. He's chomping at the bit to get going, and he knows he's got to have a game before we start to get back in as the team's going well. But it's one of them when we say to him, listen, mate, we have to put the reins on him sometimes and say, we know what you can do. You don't need to prove anything to us. You just need to make sure you're fit. So we've sort of took him out of a couple of games ourselves, and he had his knee complaint, his ankle, and they were all fixed up, and then he tweaked his back in one of the last sessions, and that set him back a little bit. He's trying everything. The boys don't come until 6 o'clock, and I see him walking past the door at 3:30, or coming to get treatment and going to the gym, and so he's trying. We know he can play. He's one that we'd want in the team, regularly in the season. Then trying to make him play in a friendly and probably put himself back 6 or 7 weeks. So it's just unfortunate. He maybe needs to put a bit more fat on him instead of being a finely tuned athlete, so he can not tweak all these muscles he's got. But no, we know what the crack is with him, and he's just been really unlucky.
Moving to on-the-field action then, 2 consecutive wins in pre-season. What did you make of the win against Leeds?
Oh, listen, what really pleased me the most was the scoreline at half-time was looking a bit dodgy. And you'd sit there and you'd think, well, listen, these are full-time, so the fitness levels are going to be quite better than ours, and it could be a bit frightening. But the way we came back at them and was very, very pleasing. It just shows that the work they've been doing, the fitness is up there. So that's a credit to Reece and the team. But we started slow, and it wasn't too bad. We gifted them 2 tries, the 2 intercepts. So it wasn't as bad as the scoreline suggested, and once we started going forward and dominating, then we look a handful. So we're sort of starting to know the way to play the game, and know the way how we're going to play. And you've seen from game 1 when Vicar pops a ball or Zach pops a ball, there was one person there, and then game 2 there was 2 people there. So as the players start to get to know each other, we're hoping that the speed men might be on the end of those sort of things. So plenty of encouraging signs, and pleasing. Winning's winning, and it's a culture that you need to get into. And a couple of years ago, losing was losing, and it was a culture we were in, and it's very, very hard to get out of. So that'll give the boys plenty of confidence by being down 30 points to 12 and coming back and winning a game. That should give them a heap of confidence.
Gary mentioned after the game last week, Jody Hedges and Mark Castle could be back in contention this week. Just how big a boost is that?
Oh, listen, big. They've got to perform, especially with the players who played earlier. They performed, but Macca could be back as well. We understand. I think I'm looking forward to seeing how Geordie will go behind a pack that's going forward. He's, we all know he's got a little bit of that X factor about him, and he's a great defender. Got a good step, and as you can see with the people like Ryan Wright and that, when we're going forward and the quick play the balls, they're gone. So Geordie will need to play with his head up and his eyes open, and take the opportunities when they present themselves, because there's competition for places all over the field.
You've touched on the dual reg system with Hull already. They're the final pre-season game for us down here at the Keepmount, and they're a club we've got a very good relationship with here. Would you just like to explain a bit about what else happens as well as a dual reg?
Oh, listen, there's a lot of stuff. There's, me and Gary go over there a bit, and he watches their 23s, and our players get to play in their 23s as well. So, I speak regularly with Motu, who's the general manager over there, regularly with Lee Radford. Our playbooks are very, very similar. The stuff we do off the field and in the gym and all that, probably a little bit similar to what Hull does. And listen, we've got an ambition to go full time, so we go over there a lot and see what they do behind the scenes, the physios, the wrestle rooms, and all this sort of stuff. So we're we're learning every day to get to where we need to be. So they've been immense, and what I will say is when we go over, the doors are open. We just walk in and, we don't feel uneasy or have to wait in a room or go. We just walk in and walk in anywhere we want to, and, it feels like it's part of our club. And, myself and Gary certainly feel like that when we go. And sometimes the players need to get second opinions on a few injuries or need some guards made for their injuries, and the whole physio and medical staff have been good with us in that sense as well. So there's plenty to it, and we get plenty out of it.
Are we expecting Hull to bring a strong side over for Sunday?
Listen, I'm not expecting them to. I know they are. They're bringing a real tough team, so it's good for us. We need a good workout. There's going to be quite a few of their first team players playing. So it'll be a tough fixture for us, but it's one that we're just hoping that we give a good account of ourselves, get stuck into them, and we come out of it with no injuries.
Would you like to just touch on the match sponsors for the game, finally?
Yeah, this weekend is Carol Bilton, and I actually think she's a Hull FC fan. I'm led to believe, I might be wrong, but I'm pretty sure she is, and she's agreed to sponsor the game, so we thank her and the friends very much.